Connecticut and Rhode Island are suing the Trump administration over its decision to halt work on a nearly completed offshore wind farm. Major Garrett recently sat down with Rhode Island's Attorney General for more on that lawsuit. Listen.
Mr. Attorney General, thanks for joining us. I appreciate your time. Tell my audience what Revolution Wind Project is, who it serves, and what its future is now.
Yeah, so Revolution Wind, Major, is a wind energy project off the coast of Rhode Island, about 12 to 15 miles off the Rhode Island coast. It's intended to provide clean, reliable wind energy that would power 350,000 homes in Rhode Island and Connecticut. This is a project that has been in the making for nearly a decade. 80% of it is complete. The cables are laid back from the turbines to the shore. Nearly all of them are done. The interconnection points on the mainland are done. Nearly all of the turbines themselves are up. The foundations for all of them are installed. And so this is a project that has been underway for a long time. Went through all the necessary federal and state approvals over the course, as I said, of a decade. And the Trump administration abruptly stopped the project back on August 22nd with a stop work order, which gave no basis for that stop work order because it wasn't possible to give one. As a result, Attorney General William Tong of Connecticut and myself have filed a lawsuit in federal district court here in Rhode Island to turn that project back on as soon as possible to make sure that that necessary energy, particularly in our part of the country, New England, which we need wind energy. There's no question we need it. We need that project turned on and completed. It's supposed to be completed by next year. We need that to happen.
On what basis and through what jurisdictional powers did the Trump administration issue this stop work order?
Well, they cited a federal statute, which is the name is really too long and incomprehensible to share with your viewers. But the bottom line is they control, the Department of Interior controls the continental shelf in terms of permitting. That same agency issued a permit, as I said, after nearly 9 years of reviews and environmental impact statements and what have you, including a national security analysis. And there were no problems found. There's no basis in that one-page stop work order, a little over a page, that says anything about how the permit already issued has been violated, how conditions have changed. And again, none of that's in there because it's not possible to put that in there. There's no basis for stopping the project other than the Trump administration's head-on assault of wind energy, wind energy, because for whatever reason, it's under the president's hat, if you will, and he can't get it out of his head that it's a bad thing, notwithstanding all the evidence to the contrary.
What is the community support or opposition to this project?
Well, look, I think what Rhode Islanders really care about, if you go down to brass tacks, is how expensive our energy is. I haven't met a constituent over my nearly 7 years as Attorney General who hasn't been concerned about their electric bill or their gas bill. The reason that they're so concerned is because the prices are high. Those prices are high because we are at the end of the gas pipeline system. A lot of the other sources of energy have been taken offline, coal, for example, necessarily so. But the fact of the matter is the coal burning plant in neighboring Massachusetts has come offline. And so we need to replace that energy and replace it with clean energy that will protect our future and our children's future and our grandchildren's future. And the way to do that, in part, is with wind energy. And so I believe, based on my experience here, that the vast majority of Rhode Islanders support this project. Look, there are some who wish their ocean views did not have a wind turbine 15 miles away, but the vast majority of Rhode Islanders, myself included, don't have ocean viewscapes. And short of a few of those people, most people want reliable energy. And our grid operator, ISO New England, put out a statement last week that that we need this wind energy to keep our grid stable. Rhode Islanders want a stable grid. You know, when we have a hurricane up here or we have other storms, we want our grid to be stable, and this is a big part of it.
Mr. Attorney General, it's my assumption that a stop work order from the federal government does exactly that, stops work. So how rapidly do you imagine you can obtain, if successful, a legal remedy to restart this?
Well, look, Major, presumably very quickly. We've asked for and we'll be asking for injunctive relief, preliminary injunctive relief. And what that's designed to do for your viewers is get a court order from a federal district court judge here in Rhode Island very quickly that will force the administration to withdraw that stop work order and let this project proceed. We brought a number of cases here in Rhode Island, my fellow attorneys general and myself, both here and around the country, but we've brought more than a handful here, 5, 6, 7, 8 in that range here. We've been successful in all of them. All of them have involved unlawful acts by the Trump administration that have harmed Rhode Islanders and Americans. I anticipate having the same success here because what the law says, it's very clear, Major, is that when you make a decision, when you're an agency, whether you're a state or federal agency, what the Administrative Procedures Act says is you've got to make findings and you've got to apply the law. You can't just make decisions out of the blue or change pre-existing decisions out of the blue. Why? Because whether you're an industry or you're Rhode Islanders or the people of Connecticut that are relying on this energy, you have a reliance interest in it. And when the government changes direction like this in a way that doesn't make any sense and isn't based on facts of the law, then those reliance interests are harmed. And furthermore, it's going to be very hard to get anybody to invest in anything if they believe that the government can simply change course in this irrational way. And that's why we're very confident with a project that's 80% complete. Remember, this project is not in somebody's head. It's not written down on paper. Construction is nearly done, and it makes no sense not to bring this project online.
Rhode Island Attorney General Peter Neronha, I thank you very much for your time, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Major.